The ocean is a big place, and it is full of magical creatures. Tritons, mermaids, and krakens all live in the vast expanse of water. When these creatures die, they sink to the bottom of the ocean, their bodies becoming meals for the bottom feeders. So too does the magical nature inside their flesh and blood. Over a long enough time, so much magic has sunk to the bottom of the ocean, it forever changed the very waters of the depths. These waters form into creatures called the Pogoroids. I'm honestly shocked there are not more options for familiars, so I made a water elemental familiar that can fit in well with a water genie warlock, a fathomless warlock, or any ocean-themed character. The Pogoroid, though a water elemental, looks like a hermit crab. The key difference being its head is hidden in its shell. Only two glowing eyes can be seen from murky darkness. These guys form nomadic tribes on the bottom of the ocean, wandering around looking for something bigger than them. And if it isn't already dead, they try and pick a fight with it. Why? Well, being a water elemental, they don't need gold and they don't need to eat or drink. But they have one desire: to become big. And the only way they can do that is by eating magical creatures. So they turn into a gank mega horde and swarm poor little Ariel. Normally, Pogoroids are 5 inches tall, about the size of a squirrel, but there have been some rather notable ones who have eaten many magical creatures that are 3 feet tall, about the size of a German shepherd. And no, they don't eat each other because when they die, they turn into seawater, which is pretty hard to eat. The bottom of the sea is very boring. These guys don't age, so they pass the time by sharing stories of their exploits in battle, and if they run out of stories, then it's time to go make some more! These shelled knights are very courageous people. Most Pogoroids flock to greater aquatic powers to join their ranks, gain more exploits, and hopefully kill a magic creature and eat their corpse. It's pretty common for droves of them to join the ranks of Kraken, water genies, sea elves, tritons, Sahaugen. These shell knights are not picky. They just want a good story and plenty of Ursula meat to eat. But the people they want to join the most are adventurers. These guys actively want to be an adventurer's familiar. But what is in it for our crappy friends? Well, adventurers tend to fight a lot of magical beings, and it's not like an adventurer usually eats the mind flayer after they kill it, so usually the Pogoroid gets to have their fill, unlike when they form massive gank armies and have to share their kills with thousands of other Pogoroids. On the flip side, why would an adventurer want a Pogoroid on their team? Living at the bottom of the ocean has granted them tremendous strength, despite the fact that most are only 5 inches tall. The shell they wear, marked with each one of their victories, is incredibly strong and can resist the pressure from the bottom of the ocean. The same can be said about the conical shell spear they wield to stab their foes, or their shell shield they wield to tank for their squishier summoners. Being a water elemental, they know the shape water cantrip, and they will use it at their summoner's request. Since they know becoming a familiar makes them virtually immortal, like for real, that's an actual mechanic, they are insanely brave.
Fight me!
They will do the most heroic and absolutely insane things, because if they die, they can just be summoned back later. In combat, they act as mini tanks. They have the protection ability, so they can give disadvantage to an enemy attack for one of their friends. They can even teleport in front of their summoner to protect them as a reaction. I had the Warlock invocation Investment of the Chainmaster in mind when I designed these guys, so if you take one, I recommend getting that. I'm not sure how these guys gain a fly speed. Maybe they float around on a bubble, or just fire hose the ground to move around. You'll figure it out. So if you want to play a warlock that focuses on fully utilizing your familiar in combat, try out the Pogoroid. You might be wondering how I came up with the name. The scientific name for hermit crab is Pagoroid. I changed one letter to an O, and that made me giggle. I'm a very simple man. Also, I'm streaming on Twitch more often because there are so many good games coming out. Remnant 2, Armored Core 6, oh my god, Baldur's Gate 3 is coming out, and that has like Twitch integration, so people get to vote on the choices you make. I'm definitely doing that, so if that interests you, come by, vote on terrible decisions that we make together. It should be a lot of fun. And if you don't catch the streams, I will upload stuff to Bonus Wizard. That's the second channel, and you can catch the stream stuff there. Special thanks to the patrons, Panko6, Beefmaster, and Manifestering, and a special shout out to Hot Doctor Lady because she threatened me if I did not put her in this video, she would, and I quote, send the rats after me. I don't know what that means, but it frightens me deeply.